Thanks for listening to today's episode of Medical Device Global Market Access by Pure Global. Today, we delve into the critical landscape of medical device certification requirements, a complex process governed by international and national standards to ensure the safety, effectiveness, and quality of devices before they reach patients. Understanding these certifications is paramount for successful market entry. At the forefront of global standards is ISO 13485. The primary international standard for medical device quality management systems. This standard lays down the requirements for a quality management system tailored specifically to the medical device industry, placing strong emphasis on risk management, regulatory compliance, and continual improvement. Alongside ISO 13485, other vital ISO standards include ISO 14971 for risk management, ISO 10993 for biological evaluation, ISO 15223 for labeling requirements and symbols, and ISO 14155 for clinical investigation standards. Furthermore, for devices incorporating software or focusing on usability and electrical safety, ISO 62304 for software lifecycle requirements, ISO 62366 for usability engineering, and IEC 60601 for the safety of medical electrical equipment are crucial. ISO certification is widely recognized across the globe and often serves as a fundamental prerequisite for market access in numerous countries, demonstrating a manufacturer's unwavering commitment to safety, quality, and regulatory compliance. For medical devices intended to be sold within the European Union, CE marking is mandatory. This mark signifies compliance with the EU Medical Device Regulation, often referred to as MDR, and its General Safety and Performance Requirements, or GSPR. The journey to obtaining CE marking involves several steps. First, manufacturers must determine their device's risk classification. Then, they need to compile a comprehensive technical file detailing the device's design, intended use, and supporting evidence of conformity. A conformity assessment must be conducted, which, for higher-risk devices, involves a notified body. Following a successful assessment, an EU Declaration of Conformity is drafted, and finally, the CE mark can be affixed to the device and its packaging. It's important for manufacturers based outside the EU to appoint an EU-authorized representative. Once a device is CE marked, it can generally be marketed across all EU member states without needing additional national approvals. Turning to the United States, FDA certification is required for medical devices. The regulatory pathway here varies significantly based on the device's classification. Class 1 devices, which are low risk, are often exempt from pre-market notification. Class 2 devices posing a moderate risk typically require a 510(k) pre-market notification. This submission aims to demonstrate that the new device is substantially equivalent to a device already legally marketed. For Class 3 devices, which are high risk, a more stringent pre-market approval, or PMA, is necessary, demanding robust clinical data to demonstrate safety and efficacy. Key steps in the FDA process include device classification, the submission of the required documentation, such as a 510(k), PMA, or an investigational device exemption, IDE, ensuring compliance with FDA Quality System Regulations, QSR, and undergoing facility inspections and audits. Upon successful review, the FDA issues a clearance or approval letter. It is also worth noting that FDA registration is a separate process from device approval and simply indicates that the manufacturer is registered with the agency. Beyond the EU and US, other countries have specific certification pathways. For instance, a Health Canada medical device license is required for devices sold in Canada. Specific requirements also exist for in-vitro diagnostic devices, commonly known as IVDs, such as blood glucose meters. Many other markets worldwide have their own regulatory agencies and certification demands, though they often reference ISO standards or harmonize to some extent with EU and US frameworks. In essence, ISO 13485 provides a foundational quality management system recognized globally. CE marking is the passport for EU market access, demonstrating compliance with rigorous EU regulations. FDA certification is essential for entering the U.S. market, with processes tailored to device risk. Manufacturers must also be aware that additional certifications may be necessary for other regions or specific device types. Adherence to these certifications not only builds trust and ensures regulatory acceptance, but is also fundamental for facilitating access to international markets. Navigating this complex global regulatory landscape can be a significant undertaking. If your company is seeking expert guidance on medical device global market access, we encourage you to explore how Pure Global can assist. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.